Good afternoon everybody, welcome back to another match preview. Previewing our West London derby clash on Sunday afternoon, home against Chelsea. Obviously, a lot's happened in the past 48 hours, which has probably kind of deflected the interest in this game. And I think it's almost been forgotten that we've got such a big game against Chelsea coming up. Look, we are going to go down, but it's a West London derby, and a lot of the so-called build-up I think has been taken away from that. Obviously, other things have happened, as we all know. And it's kind of taken big main priority instead of actually focusing on what's going to happen on Sunday, which has been interesting. But as I said, quick touch on what's happened in the past 24 to 48 hours. Obviously, we know we lost to Southampton on Tuesday night, or was it? No, we lost on Wednesday night, I think it was. Ranieri got sacked yesterday afternoon as well, around 4:45. The news came through that he had been replaced by Scott Parker as caretaker manager, which was good. Stuart Gray's also come back as well. From what I heard today, he took training as Scott's assistant, which is fantastic. I mean, he should never have gone, in my opinion. Slavisa opted to let him go in the summer, and it's been a big gap we've not filled in terms of the coaching staff. I think we've lacked that defensive organisation, especially with last season, and even before last season when Stuart Gray came in 15-16 to sort of plug the gap that Kit Simons had left. Obviously, we went with Peter Grant prior to Stuart Gray coming in. It didn't work, so Stuart Gray done well in steadying the ship at such a turbulent time after the Kit Simons sacking. He worked a lot on set pieces back then, and defensively he was quite a very good defensive coach. Organised his team defensively very well, and also did a fantastic job with Sheffield Wednesday. I mentioned it on the Cottage Talk podcast last night. I'll quick mention that now. If you do want to go listen to that, me and Scott and Russ went for about an hour last night, a bit more than that, talking about all the main news last night. The Stuart Gray news filtered through as we were recording as well, so there was live reaction to that as well. I'll try and put a link in the description to the podcast. If you want to go and listen to that, it'd be fantastic. As I said, a lot was discussed last night, and it was a very, very good podcast. Very pleased to get on there, and yeah, it went very well. So we'll kick on now, talking about Stuart Gray before we carry on. As I said, fantastic defensive coach, did a lot of good things with Sheffield Wednesday, and a lot of Sheffield Wednesday fans talk about him in high regard. Obviously, he set a lot of foundations which Carlos Carvalhal came in afterwards and used to try and build upon to get to a playoff final and a playoff semi-final. So he's well regarded there, and he's capable of actually maybe just steadying the ship between now and the end of the season. We know there's not going to be too many. We know we're not going to stay up. It's inevitable. We are going to probably go down, but at least a change was made now. And hopefully we can get supporters and the team playing with a smile on their face. We've not done that for the past couple of months. Ranieri's style of play was pretty dated and it was pretty backward, let's be honest. And it never really worked. So I'm happy that he's gone now. Look, I saw on Sky Sports today, he came out, he spoke briefly from his car window, Harry Redknapp-esque in his Range Rover. And look, it just didn't work out for him. Wrong coach at the wrong time for me. A nice person, you couldn't, but it just didn't work. And it was just, I think there was a quote last night going around on social media that it was like an arranged marriage, and that sums it up. But we'll leave that there for now, and we'll get into the main part of this video, which is the preview. Obviously, Chelsea come into this game off the back of a good win against Tottenham in midweek, 2-0 home win there. And I know they've been going through a bit of a turbulent time themselves recently. I know Maurizio Sarri they'd been talking maybe getting the boot after a couple of poor results recently, and the style of football hasn't gone down well with too many Chelsea fans, which has been a surprise. So they started the season off very, very well. I think they went, the majority of their opening games unbeaten, and it looked like they were going to cause a bit of a title challenge this season to go alongside City and Liverpool, but that didn't happen. They kind of faded away, haven't they? And they're looking to try and get into the top four this season, it's going to be tight. Obviously, if Tottenham were to lose tomorrow against Arsenal, it definitely opens it up even more, doesn't it? And Chelsea need to beat us on Sunday, which I'm sure they will. And I'm gonna get into the prediction side of the score prediction a little bit later on. But I fully expect them to come out firing. Obviously, the big win against Spurs will hopefully allow them to kick on, give them the opportunity to kick on. I know the Carabao Cup defeat, they got beat on last Sunday, which wasn't a bad result. I didn't watch the game, but I know Chelsea took it all the way to penalties, and they got beat on penalties. Obviously, the whole Kepa Arrizabalaga thing was obviously dropped in midweek. I don't know if he'll play Sunday. That remains to be unknown, but we'll have to wait and see. But Chelsea actually currently sit 6th in the league position at the moment, 6th in the league. Played 27 games, as we all have, won 16 of those. They've drawn 5, lost 6, with a goal difference of plus 18, and that's given them a points total of 53 points so far. Top goal scorer this season is Eden Hazard with 12 goals this season, and he also leads the way with most assists with 10. And their last 3 games have been 2 wins and 1 defeat. 1 win in the Europa League, a win against Spurs, and the defeat coming in the Carabao Cup final. So, it will be a tough game. And I think a lot of fans, what we've got to expect from this is that Scott Parker's come in, and Stuart, he's not come in, has he? He's been there for over a year now. And not over a year, but he's been there since the start of the season, at least on the coaching staff. And Stuart Gray's coming back, which is fantastic. But what I will say is, don't expect things to suddenly change, and because I don't think it will. But I do believe that we'll see a more positive Fulham between now and the end of the season. Whether or not Scott Parker gets it to the end of the season is unknown, because from the sounds of it, it looks like he's going to take charge for a few games, and I hope he does get it to the end of the season, because I don't see the point of getting another manager in. It'd be manager number 4, wouldn't it, if we do? I think we should let Scott Parker and Stuart Gray take the reins to the end of the season, give us an opportunity just to try and get some thought, and just draw up a good list of who we want to try and approach, and just give it some actual thought, because it's going to be a long, drawn-out process in the summer of trying to rebuild this football club, and there's going to be more than one change, I think. I think Ranieri's now gone, which is good. That's the first change we need to make. And I think there's going to be a couple more behind the scenes maybe we might see. And we've just got to take our time with it. It's going to be a very, very... we've got to be patient. That's the word I'm looking for. Patience will be key. And if things don't work out for Scott Parker at the moment, then, look, credit to him. I must admit, he's coming in, taking a job where 9 times out of 10 it's going to end with us going down. He could have been very, very arrogant and not taken it. He could have let his pride take over and think, I'm going to keep away from it. They're going down. I don't want that on my CV already as a young coach. And fair play to him. He's embracing the challenge. He's taking it on, which shows what a good person he is. He's been with us through some terrible times in recent years, and I couldn't wish him the best of luck. I couldn't wish him anything more than the best of luck with it. He's got a fantastic number 2 in Stuart Gray, who's an experienced head who worked well with him. They both know the club inside and out, having coached us. Stuart Gray got a promotion alongside us with coaching with Slavisa. Obviously, Scott Parker's played with us for a couple of years. He's been down in the Championship with us. He's been part of that group that got to a playoff semi-final as well. So they both know what the club's all about, and that's fantastic. At this moment in time, we need people at the club who know what it takes to just to raise morale. And they're both going to hopefully do that. Hopefully bring back a bit more. Hopefully bring back the style of play which we were used to. I think the Ranieri style. It was hard to go from what we had for 3 years under Slavisa, which was a very good, easy on the eye style of football, to suddenly ripping that up and going to a short-term defensive philosophy which Ranieri used, and it was never going to, in the long run, it was never really suited our group of players we had. So hopefully we go back to the basics, go back to playing what we do best and play to our strengths. We've got a good crop of players here that have underperformed, so if we can play to our strengths, maybe get 2 or 3 wins between now and May, hopefully. Look, we've just got to try and embrace it, haven't we? I know Scott Parker's probably got the worst run of games to... His first 2 home games, the first 3 home games, in fact, you couldn't ask for a worse to start, could you? I mean, Chelsea at home, Liverpool at home, and City at home, and we've got Leicester away in between, which will be Brendan Rodgers' actually, I think it's his first home game, I think it is, or it's his second one. I'm not too sure if Leicester are away or home to Watford at the weekend, but he's got a tough few games there. It's almost a baptism of fire in the coaching world, and going from that, transitioning from a coach to a manager is very different, and it's going to take probably a couple of games for him to get used to, but he's got a very good ally next to him in Stuart Gray. But my score prediction for this will be a 3-0 defeat, and it's not me being negative there. I just think Chelsea have a bit too much in hands, and Chelsea haven't been great this season, let's be honest. And I even think when we went to Stamford Bridge, we played quite well, and that was in the opening few games of Ranieri's era. And I think we played quite well. On another day, I think we could have got something with a couple of chances. Chambers went close from the corner in the second half with a couple of little more half chances. But to concede a goal so early on in that game, to go 4 minutes in when Pedro scored, and the immediate game plan went out the window then, didn't it? So hopefully we can at least get through the first half at 0-0 and just try and build upon that. Just take small steps for each game at the moment. Just manage the game minute by minute, and we've just got to see what happens, really. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it, though, I must admit. New wave of optimism's come over Fulham now. I'm looking forward to Sunday. I wasn't looking forward to it at first, but now Ranieri's gone. Stuart Gray and Scott Parker are in. It's like a breath of fresh air. Mixed up there. It's like a breath of fresh air now at the club. You can look forward to the games between now and the end of the season. Let's just try and restore some faith, and let's get the fans smiling again, and let's just hope that we can go down with a bit of dignity and a bit of pride and look ahead to next season. Try and get the right appointment in, try and rebuild, see who wants to stay and who wants to go, and approach next season in the best way possible. So I'm looking forward to it. But if we get beat, we get beat. But hey, look, Ranieri's gone now, so we've got to look forward to it. If you enjoy it, guys, hit the thumbs up video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new as well. We're doing well at the moment. Lots of coverage in the past 24 to 48 hours. Lots of comments. Lots of attention from the videos, which have been good. I can't ask for any more than that from everybody commenting away, liking, subscribing and all that. It's been good at the moment. And throughout all the poor things that are full at the moment, the channel's doing good, which I'm happy about. Also, I'd like to see it do this well in much better circumstances, but sometimes you can't get everything you want sometimes. So I'm happy with how things have gone. I'm recording the Fulhamish preferred 11 straight after this, so I've got that written out and ready to go. As I said, the podcast will be in the link in the description to the Cottage Talk podcast. I'll try and get it in the description if you want to go and watch that or listen to it. In fact, sorry, plenty was discussed last night. So lots of things going on at the moment in terms of this channel and other things as well. If you did enjoy it, as I said, like, comment, subscribe. And I'll see you over on Fulhamish probably tomorrow for the preferred 11, on his channel, on my channel, sorry, for the preview. Back on Sunday for the vlog. And yeah, take care, guys.